how you manage the people. Because if you're not able to get your people to do it and do it well, the truth is the client is going to leave you. For example, a guy shows up to work late. The truth is you don't like the fact he showed up late, but that doesn't mean you tell him he's stupid, his father is stupid, his mother is a bastard. And how do you expect that same person to still resume, work on your brief, give you return on investment without abusing you back at your
behind
back?
you?
The problem owners of business have with people doing PP is not that you're doing PP, it's the fact that your PP is affecting the business. There must be something you give to the employer to keep retaining you. But if you do not bring return on investment and you keep taking away the man hour, trust me, it won't be long. It can only take time. Stammer will still call him Papa name.
Yes, sir. Daddy.
I'll tell you.
Welcome to Paid in Full, where we talk about how the money is made in every industry, profession, or business. I'm your host, Ogeva Imason, and today we're looking into the world of advertising and marketing. And I have with me here someone that has excelled massively in that space. I mean, massively. So definitely we'll have the right person for the conversation. He has also created a generation of creatives. He's the founder of the Auto Academy, Marketing and Advertising School. I have with me here Mr. Ozone Mbanefo, a.k.a. Mr. Advertisement. Abi? That's correct.
That's very correct.
Mr. Ozone, welcome to Paid in Full.
Thank you for having me, OG.
Yeah, we look forward to a very, very, interesting conversation. And off the top, I just want you to give a brief. We're still going into the journey into advertising. We're going to get there, but I just want you to give your audience a brief summary of of yourself.
Okay, so my name is Ozone Mbanefo, and a lot of times people ask me what's the meaning of the ozone. How come ozone?
I was going to ask that too.
Oh, right.
Go on.
So I like to put it this way: ozone is O3 and oxygen is O2.
Okay.
So oxygen being the advertising agency, and ozone layer, which protects the earth from the scorching sun, is simply that same concept of knowledge that protects every young person from poverty. So my objective for choosing the word ozone is simply the fact that as ozone protects the earth, so oxygen protects every young person from getting broke. And we do that through capacity building. So that's the whole concept of ozone.
Wow.
So it starts with my name, actually.
That's a very intentional name.
Very
intentional name. I think I need to change my name at this point. I'm going to give myself that approach. And it's so good to know that, the ozone has, a stronger meaning.
Yeah.
It makes me appreciate you more.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So let's go into the journey, your journey into advertising.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. I have a question that will come with it. So most people know you as Mr. Advertising, right? But before the recognition, before the Auto Academy, where did your journey in advertising actually start?
Okay, it's dated back to year 2000.
Okay.
When I came to Lagos as a core member, and I got into advertising through Makosa dancing.
Okay.
At the NYC camp.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Oh, that's an early journey. So you sort of knew where you were going to immediately after school.
You can imagine.
Okay, so go on. I'm listening to you.
So right there at Mami camp, I danced Makosa.
Okay.
And of course, the company that had one of the activation, at the NYC camp, that was Guinness.
Yeah. So
the advertising agency that was organizing that event, one of the brand experts, that came, that's the present MD of TVWA.
Okay.
Then he was a senior manager, account planning with an advertising agency called LTC.
Okay.
So the guy saw me and he gave me his card, you dance to it. I said, bro, I need a job.
I'm not about to be dancing. I need a job.
That again?
Yes.
So, of course, with his card, I went for an interview at LTC. And definitely, I failed the test with total commitment and zeal.
Yes.
Because
A for effort, right?
you can say that again.
Yes. Yes.
And of course, the HR was like, "Are you sure you passed through the 4 walls of the university?" I told her, "Look, the truth is, my dad forced me to study mass comm because I'm a born artist that I can draw and sketch."
Yeah.
She thought I was lying. And I picked up an A4 paper from her printer and sketched the woman in 15 minutes. And right there, she picked up her intercom and called the creative department and said, "I think we've got the talent you are looking for."
That was your interview now.
Right there, I knew I got a
Drawing
job.
was an interview. That's good. That's good.
And everything, the rest they say was history, because that same day they gave me my employment letter as a staff core member. And yes, that was how I started my journey in advertising with LTC in 2000.
So my second question was supposed to be, advertising it's a cutthroat industry, and but for someone starting, right, what was your first real paycheck, you made from advertising? This is after you blew their minds with your drawing, in school, in your first job.
Yeah, I still remember that very day that I worked on a brief. Well, should I even mention the brand name? Yeah, it's for Limca.
Okay.
It's for Limca. And of course, this particular brief I worked on, I did not get the brief formally from my bosses then, because they were looking down on me like, "This guy, you don't know how to do this."
Young guy.
Yeah, the guys in the creative.
Yeah.
And of course, in those days, there were no advertising school and no place to get trained. I actually got trained from a business center.
Okay.
Yeah, I trained myself from a business center. So when I come to the office, because the guys in the creative then, none of them actually wanted to teach me because knowledge was so scarce then. And guess what? I learned on my own and practiced on a brief that was given to my bosses at their absence.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm working on that brief, and I did the final stuff, printed it out, and gave it to the MD directly. And when he saw it, he submitted it to the client side by side my boss's work. And guess what? Mine was approved.
You can imagine.
And that was when they gave me my own computer, increased my salary.
Yes.
Your boy don't turn big boy.
Straight up. So, from all what you said, you were born for this thing.
Yeah.
You were really born for this.
It's good.
And that's good, though. So, it just shows, I have this opinion of learning things yourself.
Yeah.
As much as, yes, we need the qualifications to get the recognition and all that, right? But I feel if you learn something yourself, then it's there forever.
And it comes from the hunger.
Yes.
And I'll tell you something that happened then that I realized. When you're hungry for something, the circumstances, the people, the situation, everything that is fitted to help you achieve through that stuff will show up. I'll give you an example. As at that time when I was trying to learn on my own from the business center, I didn't just work on that brief on my own, because I later found out that we had 2 other guys that got employed who were younger and were ready to now show me the concept origination skills, because what I learned from the business center was graphics design skills. Yeah. But there's concept origination to it. So being able to tell a story, being able to tell a story with an imagery is called image storytelling. Yeah. So these guys, of course, their names, I'll probably say Ndokakade and Fumelzuo. Okay. They were as young as I am, but we were already into advertising. So they started like, "Oh, you know how to use CorelDRAW? You can use Photoshop." I said, "Yes." So, okay, let's show you the skills of concept origination. And with 1 or 2 stuffs they showed me, I was able to tackle this brief secretly. And, of course, they loved it.
That's determination.
That's it.
Yeah. So, that's a very good story, though. Yeah. I appreciate that as well. We'll definitely talk afterwards, But, so let's get into why we're here, really, which is how the money is made. Yeah. Okay. So, there's a lot of money in marketing. There's a whole lot of money in marketing. But, the average person just feels you get paid. They pay me and I do the advert or whatever the requirement is. But I believe it goes a lot deeper beyond that. So can you just explain to us how exactly do you understand advertising agencies, make money?
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
By help the client make money, you get your money. I simply put it this way. Advertising agencies are not there to come up with creatives. Advertising agencies are there to provide solutions that will bring return on investment for the clients.
For the clients.
And anytime you are able to identify what will help these clients make more money by creating a perception, that will bring footfall, the truth is they will start respecting you and referring you. Most agencies, you don't see an advertising agency putting up an advert on TV. In fact, any day you see an ad agency putting up an ad, that's a joke.
Yeah. They're in problems.
Yes, there's a big problem for those guys.
Yeah.
So what agencies do is they help brands. Brands talk about them. Their work speak for them. And how you simply do that is in 3 pillars, which, if you allow me, I can break it down for you.
Please, that's why we're here.
Fantastic. So first is being able to identify the problem that these clients are going through and how to solve that problem. Okay. Now, when you can show a client that this and this and this are the things you need to do, and this is the result you're going to get, very well convincing pitch put together. We'll call it a pitch.
Yeah.
The client, being a client, will need to see a reason to believe. And that's why it has to be very convincing.
Okay.
And when you're able to convince these clients that you can do this, trust me, they will pass on that account to you.
Okay.
But it has to be really convincing. Now, on getting this account in, you get to the second stage. And you see, this is where being in control of the situation internally comes in, because there are external and internal factors. And the internal factors is you being able to run a tight ship. I always say it, the computers will not do the job. The apps will not do the job. The softwares will not do the job. Guess who does the job? Is humans.
Human beings.
So how you manage the people, how you treat people comes to play. Because if you're not able to get your people to do it and do it well, the truth is the client is going to leave you. If you're able to convince them maybe by a fluke at first, you're not going to keep deceiving them at the second time or the third time. Yeah. So having a tight team comes in. But what makes a tight team is great leadership. Being able to get the people to do the job is a skill.
And it is a skill, though.
Yeah, it's a skill. And I'm going to get into that because a lot of times, business owners complain, these guys are not ready to do the job. They just want the salary, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I can agree with you to a certain percentage. Some people don't want to do the job. They just want the money.
Yeah.
But you yourself, what do you think is the problem from your own end? And I'll mention a little bit of some of those things. Yeah. One of them is the approach. Yeah. Someone can delay a brief or not get things right. Does not mean you talk the person down totally. That's something I call talking people up to live up to your expectation. And you can
talking people up
for them to live up to your expectation.
Yeah.
So you sandwich the thing they didn't do right in between what they've always done right.
Yeah.
For example, a guy shows up to work late. The truth is, you don't like the fact he showed up late, but that doesn't mean you tell him he's stupid, his father is stupid, his mother is a bastard. People do that to people.
Yes, they do.
And how do you expect that same person to still resume, work on your brief, give you return on investment without abusing you back at your back?
Behind you, your name will be thrown all over the place.
That's it. In fact, they'll report you to their pastor, to their mom, to their dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, anybody that cares to hear.
Yep.
Yeah. But guess what? It can flip this thing and say, Johnson, the truth is you've been an amazing guy, and I respect what you do, and I know you are better than this, yeah? But I wouldn't want you to come late again. Next time this happens, I'm going to make sure you get seriously disciplined for this. And the truth is, if he tries it again, punish him or her.
And it'll be easier for him to accept it at that time.
Really see it, yeah. But don't stop at just telling him or threatening him. You also remind him again. He said, so Johnson, trust me, I know you can do better. You know, you're an amazing guy, and I love to keep working with you. You see that? You start with praise, correction, and end with praise. So it's about people, managing people, having a great team that believes, that gets to, you influence them to believe in the dream. That's very important. And of course, the last part, which is the most important part, is the numbers. You know, being able to watch your numbers, the cash flow. You see, when you start owing salaries and you start spending above your means, I mean, the money is going to come in. And when the money comes in, just know that that money does not belong to you alone as a business owner. You know, what a lot of business owners do is, as the money comes in, the first thing that comes to their mind is G-Wagon. I'm going to get that flashy car.
Do you know what?
And it's packaging. The label is packaging.
I was going to say car, and I was going to say G-Wagon.
That's it.
You understand? And you get that these days. Before you know anything, the business can't move forward anymore.
The business is not going to move forward because the business is fueled by the fuel that you put into it. And what's that for? It's the cash flow. Yeah. You know, I know a business owner because you see, Auto Academy, we're into helping the industry with talent. You know, so there are some young people, we send them to this advertising agency. And what I usually do is visit I call them my children. Yes, you know.
They are your kids, though.
They are my kids, bro.
Yes. I agree with you.
So I visited this agency. To my biggest surprise, you can't believe these guys there were 4 of them that he hired. 4 of them they hired, and I don't even want to mention the amount they are being paid, but that's not even my problem. I walked into this office. They don't have AC. They are using fan. Do you know the height of it is when I said I wanted water? They all started laughing.
As in, you're asking the wrong people, Abi. What are no they here?
Guess what? Now pure water than they drink.
Can you imagine?
And I felt so sad, you know. I said hello to the MD and everything. And on getting downstairs, you need to see the guy's SUV. You need to see the guy's SUV.
Imagine.
Brand new.
And
this was in
your office environment.
Look at the people who work for you, like they are like, I can't even say it for crying out loud. And I look at this situation, and it wasn't long. They all resigned, and they are doing better now.
Definitely.
So the cash flow is another aspect. So you can see those 3 pillars. You know, getting in the business, sustaining the true people, and the cash flow, and that's it.
I like the way you put it, and I'm happy you ended with cash flow, right? So, I mean, it sounds profitable if, you know, those 3 steps are taken to heart, right? But what are the hurdles, right, that prevent consistent cash flow, consistent making of money? So I'll give examples. So is it clients delaying payments, you know, competition, or, you know, or something else? And I'm of the opinion that, you know, traditional media, you know, has been given a very strong fight here with social media. Do you understand? Because now they've brought the adverts to the phone, to the faces of the people, as against traditional media having the billboards, you know, even newspaper ads. Do you understand? I mean, the average person doesn't really read newspapers this much. So, you know, definitely those hurdles would have at least being a problem to, you know, advertising agencies. So can you shed some light on, you know, the hurdles that generally prevent, you know, consistent cash flow?
So client delaying payment is one of them.
Okay.
Yes. It's just a minute aspect of what causes the hurdle.
Yeah.
You know, the major problem is lack of planning and structure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a farmer. As a farmer, you know the time to plant and the time
To
you're supposed
harvest.
to harvest.
Yes.
If you start harvesting when you're not meant to, you're going to run into problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with when the money comes in, because there's always going to be a time that money comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Having a system where and how this money will go matters more than anything. Yes, I said client delayed payment is part of it, because I had a client that owed me for 3 years.
Jesus
For
Christ.
3 good years. The client, I did a job this year. He owed me the whole of this year. The following year is in the 3rd year.
And you had delivered the job already.
I have delivered, and he's using it.
Can you imagine?
And you know something? Some of these clients, when you ask for...
Sorry, excuse me. I have some very cool... Sorry, go on.
And some of these clients, when you start asking for your money in a much more serious way, they start threatening to, take their account.
Yeah.
And you've done the job already. So you just have to wait and pray.
Patience and wisdom
exactly
has to come in, because it applies really to a lot of businesses.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that we do not have control over.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the things we have control over, which is the structure. So when this big money comes in, how do you structure it in such a way that, first off, don't overstaff and underpay? It is even better to understaff and overpay. You will get them more committed to getting the job done.
Yeah.
And cutting your coat according to your size. Because the truth is, no matter how you look at it, people will see through if you're successful or not.
Yes.
Like, seriously, you're doing these things. People are there. In fact, the people working with you internally,
they can
see what's going on.
Yes.
So who are you pretending to? So, having that structure. And it amazes me when people own businesses and they spend from the capital, and not think of the fact that this money is meant to help run this business. For example, at Ota Academy, I earn a salary. Yeah, and I did that because I want to run my business as though I am working for someone. Yeah. And when I was working for someone, I was working on that business as though it belongs to me. So in that way, there's always an accountability platform. So those are some of the areas that I would say when people checkmate, you would really not run into bottlenecks.
So thank you for shedding light on that. So definitely you have to, going back to the, I think the second point you dropped earlier on, leadership, right?
That's right.
So you cut your quota according to your size.
That's it.
Don't bite what you can't chew, right? And manage the business to its best. That's good. That's what's the word? That expresses good leadership.
Yes.
Okay. So going further, into that. So independent creatives. So which are designers, screenwriters, that work
freelancers.
Yes, freelancers. Thank you. That work outside, agencies, right? How is the money made as well? In the category of a freelancer.
Yeah, in my agency days, I hope you know that freelancing is not only applicable to the people who are not under a particular employer. You could actually be working somewhere and still be a freelancer.
Yes.
And I've been in that space, which actually helped me more than I can ever think of.
Really?
Oh, bro, you can say that again.
I can relate, though. I can actually relate to a certain degree.
I call it PP. Yeah, that's what we call it. And it's
PP, which PP is what?
Private practice.
Private practice. So the audience,
that's private practice. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing about PP, but the thing about PP is you've got to put in extra. The problem owners of business have with people doing PP is not that you're doing PP. is the fact that your PP is affecting the business.
Yeah.
So, for example, you finish working on a PP all through the night. You come to the office and you're
tired.
dozing. Oh my God!
Yes, I'm like, am I paying you for this?
To be very honest with you, I was.
I've been there as well.
I've
been there as well. Trust me, I've been there. Yeah.
But you see, we got to make the ends meet.
You have to.
But the only thing I did rightly, which was what kept me on the job, is that I'm damn super creative, bro. No, when you see my work, you don't want to fire me.
Yes. So that helps you, right? It balances out.
Exactly. So there must be something you give to the employer to keep retaining you. But if you do not bring return on investment, and you keep taking away the man-hour, jobs are being delayed, client is always complaining on the account you're working on. Trust me, it won't be long. It can only take time. Stammer will still call him Papa name.
Yes, sir. Daddy.
I'll tell you. I know what that simply means. They're going to fire you.
Yeah. Trust me, you're going out the door.
You're going out straight up.
That's really good.
Yeah. I really want to talk about this PP thing.
Yeah.
Because
let's hear it, please.
Let's be very honest with ourselves. A lot of businesses are looking for cheap,
labor.
Faster, cheaper, faster way to get it done. And guess what? When they can get that stuff from this one guy who can deliver this thing in 2 days, that wouldn't have to go through the normal process of an agency, give us a client brief, we respond to the client brief, and have time to do the strategy, work on the creative.
And probably not up to a month's salary for the person that's going to do the job, right? Exactly.
That's it. And it's cheaper, it's faster. This guy can cut this whole thing quicker, and they make payment straight up. Because they know this guy is ready to fight them, drag them if they don't pay
him his money. Yeah.
But a bigger organization will not do that because they have a city to protect.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you find out that a lot of smart creatives out there go for this PP. Let me share one story with you.
Yeah.
I worked on a particular oil company calendar.
Yeah.
These guys paid me. I walked into Volkswagen Center and let me put it this way. I walked into Volkswagen Center with a cab, and I left Volkswagen Center with a brand new Skoda.
I thought you were about to say G-Wagon.
Bro, calm down now.
But that's a great achievement, really.
I can assure you.
Yeah, so they just gave you a car straight.
My whole entire career, I have never made that type of money.
Yeah.
On a calendar. Because I printed, I did the design, I blow 1 PP.
Yeah.
But guess what? If I was doing that at the expense of my job, I could actually lose my job.
But could you actually even lose both ways?
Exactly. You can actually lose both ways. So PP is good, but do it in a healthy manner. Don't let the business suffer. Rather, make more money for your agency, and they will look the other way about your PP.
Yeah. So, PP is the way. PP is the way forward, audience. PP. But make sure it doesn't affect your job, your day job, okay? And so speaking of big deals, like you just mentioned, right? We hear there are a lot of big deals, campaigns in advertising, but what percentage of Nigerian advertising companies actually get those big deals?
In all honesty.
Yeah.
In all honesty, advertising is not yet that big in Nigeria. The clients who pay big in advertising is in the US, mostly US and the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Nigeria is not where it used to be in that area, but we are not there yet. That's the truth. Okay. Yeah. So we're trying, but it's not yet there. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for clarifying that too, because I was of the illusion as well that, okay, you could actually achieve those big deals, which they are achievable, but obviously not as much as I thought. I was of the opinion is a connection. If the connection, if you know somebody in there, but at the end of the day, I think your work will have to speak for yourself. For you to even to get that, those kind of great
see,
deals.
let me put it in better perspective. The connection will get you through the door, but the content will sustain you in the room. If you know somebody and you don't know something, the person you know can connect you, but what you know will retain you. Because after some time, if you're not good, they will spit you out.
Yeah, you probably even give your referral a problem.
Exactly,
an issue,
a bad
right?
name. That's it.
So let's go to your academy.
Good.
Okay. So building the O2 Academy, right? I mean, from my own knowledge, and I believe the audience should know, O2 Academy is one of Nigeria's, biggest advertising schools, right? School or agency? School. Yeah, schoolwork. So, what inspired you really? I know you've touched on it a little bit so far, but where did that in-depth inspiration, actually come from?
So, O2 Academy was born out of covenant with God.
Yeah.
And I said loud and clear.
Praise the Lord.
That's right. And I am not shy to put it across that what has always sustained us is grace. They say grace is God in your race. Yeah. Because this is a very timid Igbo boy that is so local that speaking good English was a problem for me. That's the truth. I don't even want to go back to the entire whole story. But would you believe that in 2000, 2001, I can't stand in front of people to talk. Why? Because I have always felt my English is so bad that I really needed to go back to the drawing board.
Really?
Yes, but I discovered something, that anybody can become anything if you're ready to learn everything. So I started...
I agree with that.
That's it. So I started working on myself, working on my grammar. And you know what I do? I get motivational tapes, I put it in, and I listen, and I gather young people in my street. And I formed an organization I call the Youth in Focus. Okay. And you know what I tell them? Everything that I listened to in that tape. So I was gaining my confidence.
With your audience, right?
Exactly. My little, very myopic, I say things like, it's the you in you that makes you who you are. They will shout, yeah.
And they were getting their motivation in return, right?
No scandalizer of man. Humanity can man the manhood of a man. They say,
you still remember the words.
Everything.
That's good.
And at the end, I'll give them gala and soft drink.
Yeah.
But something started happening to me. I found out that it is possible that I can stand in front of people and speak. And that was how I started presenting at meetings. Because formerly then, you used to be my copywriter that was represent the team.
Yeah, of course.
And everybody is hailing the guy at the meeting, at the client.
Meanwhile, you did all the work.
And guess what? I'm the one that is the star. Because I can't express myself. So the truth about what inspired O2 Academy is the concept of ability to learn and relearn, which I found in my search of opportunity in 2000 at an agency called LTC Advertising in the toilet. And how did this come about? The guys in the studio never wanted to teach me how to use the computer. And every afternoon I'll go to the toilet to cry. Because I never wanted to get back to the East with my parents and the whole Eastern thing. And one afternoon while I was crying, it's as if someone was talking to me. And that was the voice of God.
Of God.
He said, I understand your pain, but if you're ready to help me, I'm going to help you. And I'm like, help you how? He said, a lot of people are going through what you're going through now. But I'm going to show you the way. But promise me you will now help them. I said straight up, when you need help, anything goes.
Yeah, of course. Anything goes, really. You are desperate.
7 days after, the concept of going to business center showed up. I learned how to use computer with guys in the business center. Some of them were even Yahoo boys.
I was about to say that there were Yahoo boys around you yet.
They were teaching me how to use the software, but I wasn't learning it to use it for Yahoo. And on getting to the office, I'll practice, go back, learn, come practice. I met those 2 guys that showed me concept origination. I picked up a random brief, worked on it. My job got approved. That was how I gained my recognition. Because formerly, the guys in the studio were using me as an errand boy. They were sending me on errands.
To go and buy food.
To go and buy food
buy
as
water.
a core member, buy water. And I was always crying. But it's not their problem. It is me, because I need to have something to show. And immediately they got that approved. Guess what? The agency got me my own computer, and that was how my entire story changed.
And you already knew how to use it then anyway.
Of course. My salary changed. I got a car loan, and another agency picked me, Insight Communications. I joined Insight. I didn't even stay at Insight up to 2 weeks. Another agency.
Really?
2 weeks. I was that bad. I was that hot.
Yes.
Another agency grabbed me by name DDB.
Okay.
I joined DDB. They paid off my car loan. So I was just rising. And God reminded me, you entered a covenant with me to help people because I've helped you. That was how I turned my 2-bedroom apartment.
Really?
To the foremost advertising school you see today with 5 students. I trained them my own self 247 every Saturday, and 5 of them helped them get jobs in different advertising agencies. The news spread around, and it was totally free.
Free?
Yes, because the covenant I entered with God was to do it free.
Free?
Bro, I moved from that 2-bedroom apartment to a duplex. I turned the entire downstairs to an advertising school, and I trained people free of charge for 4 years. And that was when the industry experts started recognizing the school as a place that is helping the industry.
Yeah.
And they started joining forces with me. They started coming for masterclass. Today, we have 7 out of every 10 millennial working in the advertising agency is a product of Ozone Academy.
Wow. I've heard a lot of stories and, journeys, but I think yours is is up there with a lot. Talking back from where you came from, right. And ending up here, and it's really good. I want to tell you thank you. Thank you on behalf of all the people you've helped. I want to tell you thank you very much. And so let's talk money.
That's right.
I'm going back to money again.
Very important.
So how does the O2 Academy make money? Besides, is it just tuition fees, or there's still a lot more to it?
Okay, so at first we started, like I said, free. From free, it became a social enterprise, meaning we make money and we still give back. For example, every year we give a scholarship to the tune of 6 million naira.
Wow.
Yeah. Every year.
They're doing a lot.
That's it. It's a covenant with God, to help humanity. As a matter of fact, that's why our motto is restoration of hope through capacity building. Yeah. Okay. So, and making it a social enterprise to a business, we found out that tuition alone can only get us to a certain extent. Meaning, of course, it has been sustaining us, but we needed to expand. Because for expansion, there must be expansion in terms of revenue. That's the only way you can expand to another region. Yeah. So we found out that some of the creatives that the students come up with is becoming useful to clients, because when they work on briefs, they work on actual briefs. And guess what? Most of those clients started working with us. Okay. Giving us briefs, and the students will work on them, and they could actually make use of some of the content. They get.
So it's a win-win for both sides. Yeah,
it's a win-win. Yeah. And guess what? We also discovered that when we finish training these young people, they need a place for internship. which prepares them for what I call hit the ground running. Just like
the
our
real
president
world.
said. Exactly.
Yes.
So we created a mini advertising agency inside O2 Academy. But it's yet to be so popular. It's called Oxygen Advertising. As a matter of fact, it's registered advertising agency. Now, this is where our students now practicalize and we have clients. In fact, we have clients on retainer, and I'm not going to mention the names of some of our clients.
I'll steal them. I'll steal your clients.
No, you
I
are free. No. You are free to go there.
I will leave your onions for you.
Let me tell you something about when people feel threatened that people are going to take their account. Can I be honest with you? Nobody will take your account. Nobody has the right, the power to take your account. Do you know the only person that has the power to take your account? You, to let the account go.
Yeah.
Because if you're solving the client's problem, if you're passionate about their business, the client feels your spirit. They know. You know what some agencies don't know is that when you genuinely and you are super, super authentic about helping these clients, you do certain things without even knowing. Because there are certain things you don't need to tell the clients and they feel it. For example, why will a client have to give you a brief to work on Children's Day? Why? You should know that Children's Day is coming. That you should be able to help the client gain attention during that moment. So agencies sometimes are just so focused on, we're on retainer, so our money will come in every end of the month. We're waiting for them to ask us to do this so we can mark up and make money. No. Without looking at
value,
exactly,
added value.
looking at exactly the value. How can we help this brand? Who says that it's only advertising services that you should render? Market research. You go out there, you see something going on in a particular geographic location about your client. You pass that data to the client and say, I just discovered XYZ is happening. And guess what? The client will begin to think, look, these guys are my own people.
And they know what they're
doing. They won't just want to keep you. They will tell their friends about you. But agencies are focusing on money. And when we talk about money, I say it anywhere to whoever that cares to know. You don't chase after money. You don't. Chasing after money is like you playing a game of soccer and you are focusing on the ball. Sorry, you're focusing on the goalpost.
And not the ball.
How
will you score?
Thank you. So you leave the goalpost. You dribble
Take
right.
the ball there.
You get the ball in. So people are focusing on the money. And money is a distraction. The attraction is the value. In fact, there's an Igbo proverb that goes.
Please say it in Igbo.
Now, I go there straight.
Yes.
The Igbo proverb. It says, Onye ji igu ka ewu na-eso.
Okay, so now translate.
The person wey carry palm front. Goat eat palm front a lot.
Yeah.
The person wey carry palm front, 9 goats they follow.
Follow for back.
You understand? So the palm front is the value.
Yeah.
You go with the value. For example, O2 Academy, we came up with what we call people-centric and not customer-centric brand strategy. Meaning, we are not about customers. We are about the people. We take every young person, young and old, wherever you come from, that shows up in Oxygen as our own, that we must give return on investment. So whoever that walks into the 4 walls of that academy, just know that your wahala don't turn our own wahala. That's why each and every one of our students has got a cup to their name. Our lecturers, instructors call our students by their first names, making sure they solve their problems as individual, not as a student.
So there's a lot of individual attention.
That's it. Very important.
Okay.
And that's why I can pick up my phone. For example, every student of O2 Academy,
How's your number?
I've got their number on my phone. How? The moment the admin saves your number, I have it linked to my phone. That's why some students, they will call me and they will think I don't know that. I'll just call the person's name.
I'm like,
The year of your registration is on my phone.
Oh, that's
So I just called Johnson. What's up now? Bad boy. Since 2017, he never called me. He said, Mr. Oh, you have my number.
Don't chop money now.
It's our
Don't
business
chop
strategy.
money.
Exactly.
So that, I mean, that's
Yeah.
good. That's evidence of it being a people-centric environment, and I applaud you for that too. Still, I've been praising you a lot too. But anyway, let's go. Let's go on.
Thank you.
So going back to the academy, right?
Yes.
I know we focused on the hurdles
Yeah,
of running an advertising agency.
that's right.
So I want to go into hurdles of running an academy.
Hey.
You understand? I know, in some cases, I mean, going to school, there are people that they used to turn back at the gates because they didn't pay school fees. Do you understand? And we know Nigeria, some of your staff are pinching here and there.
Yes, sir.
So it in some cases, it gets to a point where the school is finding it difficult to run itself.
Yeah.
So have you experienced that, or you've literally thrashed that out of your space?
Yes, when you've done something over and over and over, you begin to see most of the loopholes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we don't have any problem anymore,
Yeah.
because there will always be newer challenges that will always come up. But guess what? One of our major challenge is power.
Light, electricity
Is the problem with Nigerian businesses. How will NEPA be sending you a bill of 800,000 in a month?
How is the business going to run itself if you are paying 800?
At some point, we told them cut the light because they put us on high tension. I think they call it a transformer or whatever. Because our load, because it's a school, you have a lot of ACs,
systems, a lot
exactly.
of people.
So at some point, we had to go off NEPA. PHC, and I still call them NEPA because there's no difference.
The audience can relate. I can relate.
There's no difference.
Yes.
And guess what? We're running on generator. And as a matter of fact, generator will not fail us. Because NEPA or the PSCN as so-called, every now and then, boom, light is off.
You're not guaranteed 24 hours light.
24 hours
and yet
light,
you're paying
exactly.
high.
You're paying very high. So that is number one. The second one, which we've been able to, sort out, is some of the students owing school fees, just like you said, but we've been able to find a very solid structure, which is our internal, I know,
say go release down.
Yeah. But aside from that, I think every other aspect of running an academy, because we also moonlight some of the international advertising schools, like Red and Yellow, Triple A in South Africa, and Miami Art School, and of course, Academy of Arts, University of San Francisco. Some of these schools will look at what they do, we adopt,
some
their
of their
curriculum and some of them. Yeah, so that has been some of the, but above all, what has been helping us is the passion. And of course, having a team that is ready to team up and help the vision. Having a team that understands where we're going, why we're going there, and how we need to get there. These are things that has helped us, and it's been a good one.
That's really nice, and you've done a lot of work really in school. Yeah, and the fact that you mentioned, you adopt some strategies from, international curriculums actually shows you've evolved, and I also want to believe evolving will affect the money over time. And so with that, how would you advise, someone who is looking to start an independent agency? Most times, let me rephrase the question, because it's easy to advise. because it's very easy to say, just focus, do hard work, But what mistake? I'd rather work with a mistake. What mistake do you feel, someone who is looking to start an agency should avoid, especially at the beginning of, the whole project?
Oji, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
This is one of the most interesting questions.
Really?
That will help whoever that cares to hear.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. And to get to your question, the biggest mistake you make getting into advertising is ignorance. Ignorance. You come into this industry without equipping yourself with knowledge, you will not have an edge. Knowledge, I always tell people, is a combination of two words. Know, edge.
Yeah.
Know, edge. Knowing that gives you an edge.
You're actually giving me a new meaning to the word knowledge, to be honest. Yeah.
I'll put it this way again.
It makes sense.
Knowledge is summed up in two words. Know and edge. Knowing that gives you an edge. Because it is what you know that gives you an edge.
Really?
Because the industry is saturated.
Very, very saturated.
It's saturated.
Very, very. Competition is strife. You really have to have an edge.
Yeah. So you showing up thinking that the guys there, they are joking, that you're just going to come and snatch an account or pick up an account and someone is just smiling at you, you're joking. You better arm yourself well. And well enough to bring down your opponent, because somebody has to go down for someone to go up.
Yes.
That's the truth. And
it's life.
And that's where, Auto Academy comes in. Because today, we have lots of advertising agencies, CEOs, that are product of Auto Academy. I can even mention one of them, IOM, Ideas Origin Media.
Okay. I've heard of that, though.
Yes. It's one of the fastest growing advertising agency in this country. Young. This young man showed up from Ibadan. And guess what? He showed up with nothing. This is a boy that was working in one newspaper house in Ibadan.
Yeah.
And he came to Lagos in search of opportunity. And this guy was practically living in the academy. Grinding. I always tell my students, you grind to climb.
Yeah.
It's only the grind that gives you the climb. And on graduation, this guy got the first advertising agency, and he was earning close to $250,000. And the second agency, within 13 months, he got employed by one of the top advertising. In fact, I can mention their names. Extreme Ideas was his first agency. From Extreme Ideas, he moved to TBWA. From TBWA to Insight Communications. From Insight Communications, he moved to Ogilvy as a creative. And these are agencies, top guns.
Yeah.
That's right. And the next thing I heard is Israel owns his own agency. I went to his agency to visit him, and I was shouting. He's got over 15 to nearly 20 staff as at that time. Today, he is competing with some of the top agencies that has already been there. Thank you. And he won about 5 awards at the Life Award, the recent Life Award. I'm super proud of the boy. How? He gained the information that gave him transformation. I always say it. Information causes transformation. And knowledge is the knowing that gives you an edge.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, so you see, it still takes me back to the beginning when I said, you've created a lot of generations, creative generations, and it's really good. And so let's speak to the future. The future of advertising, right. So like we just established, the advertising industry is very, very saturated, and also evolving. So now there's AI, social media has to be in that list, influencer marketing, and so where do you see the real money being made in like the next 5 years?
You've just said it, AI. And influencer marketing.
Yeah.
And when we talk about AI, I always like to let people know that it's not just about AI, it's also about ML, And what is ML? Machine learning. AI is artificial intelligence, and ML is machine learning.
Yeah.
And what is happening now with AI is that, of course, the AI and ML, they are interwoven.
They are interwoven.
Yeah, because this is artificial intelligence. The computer, the apps, they are getting very intelligent. They are very intelligent. They know how to take decisions based on the algorithm and some of the data that, they work with big
Some
data.
can't even speak.
Yes, so that is where ML comes in, machine learning.
Okay.
So they've moved beyond just being intelligent to now learning how to become more intelligent. So they are constantly studying and looking at data and working with data and getting much more super intelligent to solve our problems faster, better, and with the help of humans, which is where we come in, because we are the ones that is constantly feeding them with the big data with which the ML will work and give you more results. Yeah. And influencer marketing, which is getting very big. And that's where, an influencer is earning the entire salary of one agency with one promotion. Why? Because the eyeballs is on mobile phones.
I'm going to speak to an influencer about this. I'm going to look for an influencer, and I'm going to definitely speak to an influencer about this.
And they see, and right now it is not yet proven how to actually become an influencer. Yeah. Well, some people think that it's when you are consistently showing something on
phone,
social media and every day you're posting. If you know how many people that have been posting stuff online over the years, and yet nobody cares, nobody shares, nobody reposts, and why? Because there's no particular formula. There's no particular formula that proves that your content will go viral. Virality of any content is not yet proven a certain way. So it's something that people are still studying. Some of these influencers will come on events and tell you how to become an influencer in 2 weeks and all that stuff. It's all motivational talk. Yeah. At the end of the day, why are those people who've listened to them are not like them? Because if not, we'll have a mass production of influencers everywhere. But we'll have micro influencers, just like you and I. We have our own small platforms with which we can influence and which some brands do or can key into, which is some concept that I'm still holding, that any brand that comes to me, I can show them how you can take advantage of having a massive micro influencer. And everybody just starts talking about your brand. But it's a story for another day.
Oh, no, I will need that story. I will need that story.
No, I have that key.
So definitely, we've identified, production for the next 5 years, what it will be like. What's the biggest threat, to Nigerian advertising agencies?
I'll be honest with you. A lot of times people say it's the influencer marketing. The influencers are taking our job. But I think it's not the influencers. The biggest threat, which we are yet to even see, is the micro influencers. Let me explain. Formerly, advertising used to be from the brand to the consumer. Meaning brands will put out an ad, consumers will watch and consume the ad without having an opinion. But guess what's happening today? What we have is what we call prosumers, no longer consumers. So they produce and they consume. That's why somebody will walk into an eatery and just discover there's a cockroach in his or her food, and does a video. Hey guys, so I'm right here in XYZ restaurant. It's just for you guys to know, don't come to this place, blah, blah.
I'm just eating a cockroach leg.
Do you understand? I shows you, before you know what's happening, that thing has gone viral and it becomes a problem for the brand. Something happened the other time. I think it's KFC, something at the airport, or some guy that is disabled that something, and it went viral. because of the way they treated the guy.
Yeah.
And the video was out there to the extent that the brand had to speak. So you find out that the biggest threat now is the micro-influencers, because the power is in the hands of the consumers. So it's no
Literally.
longer controlled.
Yeah.
Formerly,
There's
it's
zero
been
control.
Yeah, there's zero control. So, and it's just a time bomb waiting to happen, because at some point, clients will not have agencies give them solutions anymore, because we don't even know how to, make this thing. So it's the power of social media in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't know how and where this thing is going to and what it's going to turn out to. But whichever way it comes, we're here.
We're here. Yeah,
we're going
waiting.
to find a way around it.
It's just the way the world is. I am also looking forward to what comes next after social media, really, because it seems like it's not going anywhere, really. Because as long as we have these phones, all they need to do is throw it in, and we're stuck with the phones, right?
Exactly.
But I know you'll still be here. And just before we round up, with everything you've built, so what's next for Auto Academy? How do you see this crew growing financially in the future?
Okay, so I will say what's next for the value we're bringing.
Okay.
Remember the Igbo proverb I say, Onye jigu ke uneso.
Person holding the
We
palm.
carry the palm front.
Goats they follow. Okay. Yeah.
Our focus is the value we're bringing.
Okay.
The value we're bringing, because it's the value that brings the money. And I tell my team, stop thinking about making more money. Think about creating more value. Think about solving more problems. So an average Auto Academy staff has got in his or her head, how do we solve more problems for anyone that crosses path with Auto Academy? And that is the basis of what I'm going to tell you, the future of Auto Academy. Auto Academy will want to be a force to be reckoned with in helping more Nigerian youths become employable and employers of labor. Getting everyone who crosses path with Auto Academy to become a solution wherever he or she shows up, be it in the banking sector, be it in the energy, whichever industry an oxygenator shows up, he brings life.
Yeah.
That is our aim. That's our long-term aim. And guess what? We are doing a massive outreach to universities.
Yeah.
Because we found out that collaboration is the new competition. We can only do so much if we have more people we can work with to democratize information that will give them transformation.
Yeah.
So we are in University of Ilorin, we're in University of Ibadan, and we hope to move into a lot of universities in Abuja, because presently we have a branch in Abuja.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I just flew in from Abuja. I've been in Abuja from the 6th of January.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, that's where I am presently, So we hope to be in Base University. We hope to be in University of Abuja, getting more and more young people into the digital natives, getting them to become more digital savvy, getting them to fall in love with knowledge, with advertising, content creation, art direction, copywriting, strategy, digital marketing. There's a lot they can do with what they've got up here.
I mean, they say you catch them young anyway.
That's it.
And I hope you guys are listening, right? And finally, before we call it a day, so what's one hard truth? What's one hard truth exactly about making money in advertising? Right? That people don't realize until they get in.
The hard truth is simple. There's money in advertising. But the problem is not making the money. It's managing the money. I call it wrong mismanagement of public funds.
That applies in so many ways as a Nigerian, what we experience.
When we say it, what comes to mind is government.
Corruption, government,
But guess what? In the private sector is more. Mismanagement of public funds. When that money comes, do you spread it in such a way that the people who help you to make it possible see through it that this money is our money? And the more we can make it come, the more it can come to us.
Yeah.
One of the legends of advertising that I have a lot of respect for, and a lot of agencies that has copied him got results too. He's called the grandfather of advertising in Nigeria. That's Biodun Shobanjo, Inside Communications. The guy set up an advertising agency, and he became popular for being the most highest paid ad agency. And everybody is thinking...
He's putting the public funds back into the business.
That's it. And everybody's thinking insights. They are there when they see the money coming in. And they are watching you flying to Paris. They know it's their money.
Yes.
But they can't talk. And at the back of their mind, they are thinking of, I need another job. That's it. You see, some employers are telling you, I just did this, I just bought this and that. When I look at your staff team and they are not living big,
welfare is below standard.
That's it. My respect for you is when I come to your office, I see the standard of your office and I see the standard of living of your staff, then I can respect you. And so when people get into advertising, it's not a place to cash out for yourself. It's a place to cash out, to retain and keep the money coming back in by getting the people who make the money live with the money and live a life that will make them feel they are actually living a life.
Mr. Ozone, I mean, this has been an eye-opening conversation. So you've taught us how, to run the business as an advertising agency, how to keep the cash flow consistent.
That's right.
Welfare of the people that help you achieve your goals.
That's right.
Your amazing story and inspiration towards building the academy. God is great.
Amen.
And we really, really appreciate it. And I can say, Mr. Ozone, he's paid in full. You are paid in full.
That's right.
All right, man. So thank you, everybody, for being part of this amazing and insightful conversation with Mr. Ozone Mbanefo, a.k.a. Mr. Advertising.
Right.
And tune in, turn on your notifications for the next episode of Paying in Full. Like I told him earlier, I'm looking to get an influencer to add to what we just spoken today. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode of Paying in Full. Have a great day, guys. Bye.